In the wake of Queen Elizabeth's death, more than titles are changing in the royal family. There is a shuffling tonight of properties and fortunes that have kept the monarchy afloat. 26 royal estates and nearly 247,000 acres of land, all told, worth a whopping $88 billion. When Queen Elizabeth died, she was worth more than $500 million. She and now King Charles were the biggest shareholders of the royal family's wealth, and now even more falls to the king and his heirs, with his siblings likely taken care of by the Queen before her death. But where does the monarchy's wealth come from? Well, the family makes their money several ways. First, there is the sovereign grant. Essentially, the British people give the family 25% of money made from their properties. They can't sell the land, but instead they can live in them and off them, with portions of the profits going to their expenses. It's an arrangement hammered out back in 1760 by King George III. The whole business depends on the royals' public personas. The more the people like the royal family, the more tourism dollars come into the British economy and the monarchy with their 25% cut. In 2019, that cut was worth more than $107 million. Senior members of the royal family are also paid for their service to the country and work done on their behalf. Next, there are large areas of land called the Duchy of Cornwall and Duchy of Lancaster that fund specific members of the monarchy. The land is rented for residents, farms, and businesses, and profits from Lancaster will go directly to the king and Cornwall to William and his family. Lastly, there's the Privy Purse. It's made up of personal property, homes, art, other items, including items passed down from previous kings and queens. Charles himself owns 600 original Leonardo da Vinci drawings. And with Charles moving into the role of king, he'll also move into Buckingham Palace as his London home and is expected to open up more rooms to the public. Prince William and Kate will likely move to Windsor Castle, where the Queen permanently relocated earlier this year. It is the oldest and largest occupied castle in the world. Charles doesn't care for the property because of noise from Heathrow Airport. They'll also hold an apartment at Kensington Palace in London. Balmoral, where the Queen died, will likely become a museum. Clarence House, once saved for Prince Harry, will now go to Prince George when he comes of age. And Sandringham is Charles's organic farm, and that will likely stay his country estate. His siblings already set up homes given to them either from their grandmother or their mother, the Queen. An estimated worth more than $80 billion. Erin Hill is the senior royals editor with People and joining us live tonight. Erin, great to see you. We'll get to the royal wealth in just a moment because there's a lot of it. But first, I just wanted to get your reaction to the King's speech today and how it's being received.
Yeah, his speech was really powerful and included a lot of surprising moments. And it's being really well received, his first moment as monarch. And the fact that he added some personal touches, of course, mentioning his love for Meghan and Harry, which was a surprise, unexpected personal detail, and wishing them the best as they continue their life in the U.S. And then getting right to business and talking about titles when it comes to William and Kate, how they'll immediately be known as Prince and Princess of Wales, which we weren't expecting. And of course, mention of his beloved wife, Camilla, in her role as Queen Consort. And then, of course, paying tribute to his mother as both, a grieving son, and then also as the world loses its monarch.
Well, the other thing, Erin, and you brought up titles, is there was some speculation that King Charles may choose a different name, given the fact that the first two King Charleses, one was beheaded, the other was exiled for a time. What's the significance of that decision and him choosing to keep his name?
That's right. And, he obviously has that choice to choose his own name when he takes the throne. It's unsurprising that he sticks with Charles. I mean, this is a name he's been known as in his role since he was 3 years old when his mother took the throne, known as Prince Charles belovedly. So now King Charles makes sense, and he'll start a new streak with the name.
So we mentioned this a moment ago. The more popular the royal family is, obviously, the more tourism dollars they bring in. Talk a little bit about this massive royal wealth and also how the majority in the UK feel about that sovereign grant we mentioned that dates back hundreds of years, a 25% tax, so to speak.
Yes, the sovereign grant is what's the most divisive thing when you think about it. It's the taxpayer funded payment that goes to the monarch each year, which is then funded for the other senior royal members. It's about £1 or so per taxpayer. And it goes to fund all sorts of things that the royal family, from their travel to the work that they do and maintenance on the homes. And that is something that is of particular interest to the citizens in the UK when it comes to funding the royal family.
And the public persona is so much of what makes the royal family, financially successful. Will Charles be able to garner the same global appeal that his mother did for so many decades?
That will remains to be seen. Of course, the Queen was so beloved for 70 years, and her reach really extended historically in pop culture. But Charles is going to approach this role with a more streamlined view. He said he wants a slimmed down monarchy, and that's going to come to really combat a lot of the negative views with the sovereign grant. So instead of funding a whole host of senior royals, it's going to be a more streamlined amount of senior royals that will get that payment.
Yeah, as we said at the top of the show, so much change and unease in this new era, but also people are very optimistic about the future of the monarchy and what's to come. You all sent along some beautiful commemorative covers that honor the life of Queen Elizabeth. As we share those with folks at home, talk a little bit about why she captivated so many for so many years.
Yeah, she was just such a remarkable woman. I mean, this was a young woman who came to the throne when she wasn't even destined to be queen by birth. It just happened by, as the story we know, her uncle who abdicated the throne. Her father then became king. He died unexpectedly when she was 25. And then she became this young queen who was a young mother at the same time. And the world just watched her take this incredible place in history and just be there for every moment. She met 14 U.S. presidents, was there for 15 prime ministers just as recently as this week. And it's just incredible to watch her take on every moment, go through the tribulations within her own world, the family, and overcome that and keep that sense of stability for people, and that really embody that keep calm, carry on mentality.
Steadfast in tradition. Erin Hill, Senior Royals Editor at People. Thank you for your time tonight and your insight.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.